You're watching Tackle Talk Live, now into our 6th season as your #1 resource for bass tournament information, with a primary focus on both Toledo Bend and Sam Rayburn. Your hosts, Iowa Pro staffer Steve Graff and Territory Manager for Sportco Marketing, Kevin Jean. Two guys with years of successful tournament experience on all levels. Guys who understand the importance of good information. Anglers willing to share their knowledge to help you become a better angler. So pay close attention as these guys give you more insight on how, when, and where to catch winning stringers. Here are your hosts of Tackle Talk Live, Steve Graff and Kevin Jean.
Welcome to Tackle Talk Live. I'm Iowa Pro staffer Steve Graff, along with Territory Manager for Sportco Marketing, Mr. Kevin Jean, down there in Lafayette, Louisiana. I'm over here in Natchitoches, Louisiana. So, boy, I tell you what, Kevin, beautiful day, man. We ought to be out. We ought to be outside doing this program instead of indoors.
Yeah, and Steve, beautiful days. It was a beautiful day yesterday. It's going to be a beautiful week. Going to have some really good weather, which I'm excited about because I'm finally getting to go fishing this weekend. I'm going to fish the Poche tournament on Toledo Bend this weekend, which, Steve, I talked to Bert about 30 minutes ago. He's got 190 entries already for that tournament this weekend. So definitely going to hit 200. I think he's going to be around 250 or so, maybe more.
Yeah.
With this beautiful weather, there's a good chance he could get some more. So excited for that this weekend.
Yeah, good deal. Looking forward to hearing how you and your buddy do over there, Travis, do for that tournament. And and of course, Shelly and Bert and that whole family, they do a tremendous job, and everybody that helps with that event. Yeah, y'all do a great job with that. I mean, it's probably one of the top 2 tournaments. I would say top 3. You got the Spino, Sealy, and the Dylan Poche.
Yes,
Those 3 right there.
Toledo Bend, that's it. I mean, that's the big dogs. Toledo Bend Bass Series is coming as one of the bigger, more elite trails for Toledo Bend, I would say. But as far as a one tournament on Toledo Bend, it is the Poche and the Spino, and then, of course, the Sealy. You always have the Sealy. Steve, Toledo Bend showing out right now, too. Last weekend, you had the Texas Oilmans, and, man, it was not good weather conditions. It was not good weather. Wind was howling. Steve, you had 3 over 10 weighed in last weekend with that weather. And every day, all I'm seeing when I get on social media is another 10-pounder caught on Toledo Bend. I don't know what number we're at. Need to find that out for next week's show to find out what number of double digits that has been turned in on Toledo Bend, but it's a lot.
Yeah, and I want to go ahead and tell everybody right now, if you're not signed up for Bash Cash Bash with that Despino, Poche tournament coming up this weekend, if you're going to be on Toledo, you need to make sure you're signed up for that. Y'all, it's worth every penny you'll spend, because if you do catch one or you catch a double digit, you're going to win. You win instantly. So,
Steve, did you see yesterday the boat tag for Lake Gunnersville was caught?
Oh, really?
The guy caught the boat tag. So he won a brand new boat because he won the boat tag on Lake Gunnersville.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That don't happen every time. So that's good to know. Also today, Kev, we got a special guest that you've lined up for us. Toledo Bend guide Ryan Pinkston is going to be on with us today.
Yeah, Ryan, guy's been on the water a lot. He's taking guy trips out. He's a north end of the lake guy, which north end of the lake is what's on fire right now.
Yeah.
But he's venturing, coming down south a little bit more. Now that Daryl Gleason has gave him some access to come below the bridge every once in a while, he's able to. But no, Ryan's going to really be able to break the lake down to us of what's going on all stages of the lake. That's why I want to get Ryan on. He does a really good job. He knows he knows what's going on, and he's going to be able to give everybody some good tips that's going fishing this weekend. And I know we got Texas Team Trail next weekend. A lot going on with Toledo Bend coming up, so Ryan's going to break it all down for us.
Yeah, and right across the way as the crow flies about 25, 30 miles down the road, Sam Rayburn, Texas Pro League, ABA, will be kicking off this week, tournament number 1 for them. And looking forward to seeing how many people show up for that. Hopefully we'll get at least 60 plus in that tournament. And that is a solo event, an individual event. We're also going to preview real quick the Bassmaster Classic, Kevin. I know normally that's where you're at. You're at the Classic, working the show and working the floor and And but this year, you can be a good spectator and watch what goes. And everything I'm seeing and talking to a couple of the guys that are over there fishing this event, high winds have absolutely hampered them with their practice. And today it is really blowing today over there.
Yeah, no, they've had some. I know yesterday was pretty. Yesterday was pretty good. Haven't talked to a lot of the guys. I talked to Porosnik and a couple others last week as they were traveling to the Classic. They're all really excited about it, but man, this weather is definitely throwing a curveball. Not only the wind, Steve, but it's muddying up the waters pretty bad.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's not a lake with a lot of vegetation in it, so it's going to be muddy. Probably that's probably a given.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting this weekend. I think Mother Nature has thrown them a lot of curveballs over there that maybe they wasn't expecting. So be interesting to see what happens.
All right, we got all this and more today right here on Tackle Talk Live. We're going to take a quick break, recognize a few of our sponsors. When we return, we'll visit with Toledo Bend guide Ryan Pinkston. You're watching Tackle Talk Live.
A good marine dealer is hard to find, but a great dealer is even harder. But in Iowa, Louisiana, there's a marine dealer that falls into the great category, Power Implements Marine. South Louisiana's go-to dealer for all things related to the boating industry. A Minn Kota, Garmin, and Mercury dealer, guaranteeing you first-rate service in both sales and repair. A great selection of new and used boats to choose from, including Skeeter, G3, Ranger, Camus, and Go Devil. A knowledgeable staff that will treat you like family and are always willing to go the extra mile to ensure you walk out a happy customer. To see everything they have to offer, go to powerimplements.com or stop by 606 East Miller Street in Iowa, Louisiana. Plus, mention Tackle Talk Live and save $500 off a new or pre-owned boat or $50 off your first service ticket. Toledo Health is a full-service primary and acute care clinic. Nurse practitioners Jarrett Rule and Melissa Vines bring quality health care that's needed and convenient to the area. Nothing is worse than being sick on your family or fishing getaway. Whether it's a stomach virus or a hook in the hand, Toledo Healthcare will try and meet all your health care needs. Appointments available and walk-ins are always welcome. So the next time you're feeling down at Toledo Bend, stop by Toledo Healthcare, located on Highway 6 just south of Toledo Town, or call 318-508-5323. Very few stores are a complete one-stop shop, but Cypress Knee Outdoors is such a place. A store within a store. Cypress Knee is located inside 3J's four-way. Whether you need gas, food, drinks, or bait and tackle, they have it. Cypress Knee Outdoors carries top-name fishing brands like Strike King, Sandtone, Spro, and V&M. Crappie jigs from Bobby Garland. Need hunting gear? They have it. Ammunition from rifle to shotgun shells. Deer scents from Buck Wild and Doe and Heat. Deer stands from Titan and feeders from T-Hanger. Cypress Knee has it all. Located off I-49, exit 127, just south of Natchitoches, Louisiana. So stop by Cypress Knee Outdoors and let John Abram and his staff show you everything they have to offer. Or give them a call at 318-238-HUNT. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
This is Tackle Talk Live. Thank you for tuning us in today. And by the way, spread the word. Let everybody know about our program because we're here for you guys. We're here for the anglers. We want to try to give you as much information, good information as we possibly can. Especially this week with Toledo Bend, a lot going on Toledo Bend this week. I'll make sure we give you guys as much heads up, and we got a great guy to do that today. But first, this segment is presented by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, Lakes Insurance of Nacogdoches, Toledo Health Clinic, Cypress Knee Outdoors, Toledo Bend Bass Series, Shimano, and Power Implements Marine, located in Iowa, Louisiana. If you mention you listen to Tackle Talk Live or you watch Tackle Talk Live, you'll get $500 off a purchase of a new or used boat, or you can use that money and take $50 off your first service ticket. Either way, you benefit just by saying, hey, I watch Tackle Talk Live. So on the Tackle Talk hotline, we've got Toledo Bend guide Ryan Pinkston. And Ryan, man, as we talked off when we were on the phone with you a few minutes ago, it's spring break. Of course, spring break for a lot of people means they're headed for the lakes. They're bringing somebody like you in there to help them catch fish. But you're taking a little time off, I hear.
Yes, exactly, Steve. I took a couple of days off. The kids are on spring break, so we got out of town for a couple of days and just reset, if you know what I mean. But for everybody that's going to be at the lake this week and next week, I mean, fishing has been dynamite the last couple of weeks, and I don't see that changing.
Yeah,
Ryan, it's been a while since I've seen the amount of double-digit fish being brought in on Toledo Bend. Last week alone, the Texas Oilmans, they had 3 over 10 with an 11. I'm seeing multiples on my social media feed every day, 1 to 2 fish every day being brought in. Man, it's the lake seems to be fishing better right now than it has in a long time. Would you agree?
100%. I mean, it is lights out. The fish are healthy. The fish are just beautiful. They're so fat. If you remember back, okay, so let me take you back just a little bit. If you remember back last year when we talked right before the Brandon Belt, I told y'all then, I said, I can see it happening. We had an amazing shad spawn last year. It was late. It was drug out, and the fish were so fat and healthy. They stayed up there shallow for a long time. And then when they pulled out deep, I mean, it's like they continued through the year just staying fat. And so January and February, I mean, they look great. And here we are now. A lot of them, or most of them, have moved up to the bank, and they're really looking good. The condition of the lake, like you alluded to, is excellent. The fish are excellent. I don't see that trend slowing down. I bet we have a couple each day, and this weekend with a big crowd hitting the water, it wouldn't surprise me if you have another 3, 4, 5 caught this weekend.
You know, Ryan, when you break Toledo Bend down, being a 70-mile long body of water, you know, you've got the north end, mid lake, and south end. Right now, which part of the lake is probably playing hot right now? Which one is, if you were going to focus, if you were going tomorrow and or got a tournament coming up pretty quick over there, which part of the lake would you probably focus on?
I would focus on the south end. It's been real
Steve,
steady,
he's
I guess you
lying.
can say.
Steve, he's lying. He is lying. He is trying to send everybody down there because he don't want them coming up north.
Oh, I lost you for a second there. And that's not true. That is not true at all. I'm speaking the truth and only the truth. No, in seriousness, it really is. And if I had to do it, you know, my second place, of course, would be the mid lake, and then we'd go up to the north. Honestly, I have not spent in the last several weeks, I have not spent a lot of time up north. It's just not that good in February. It starts picking up in now I'm talking about north. I mean, like north 1215, San Patricio, north up
right.
Huxley up that way.
That's what
the
I
lake's
call
just
north.
a little
That's
bit
what
off.
I call north.
Yes, sir. Yeah, way north. Mid lake has been pretty good. If you can find any areas, like I say, with any grass in the mid lake area, a lot of that I call it dollar weed. You know, is starting to come up in the pockets. They're really gravitating to that real strong. And then on the south end, I mean, it's just doing its thing like it usually does every year. And still just kicking out fish, you know, left and right. But the amount of 2 3/4 to probably 4 pound fish, just solid 3-pounders, they're just everywhere. I mean, it's just like you can't pick a bad spot almost.
Ryan, I know you've taken a break the last couple of days, but I know the last 2 or 3 weeks you've been on the water a lot. What's been your number one pattern? You know, some guys come in just, hey, we want to go lean on something. Like what when they get in the boat with Ryan Pinkston, what are we going to go do?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a kind of a 1-2 approach right now, and this was as of 2 days ago, and I know it hasn't changed. But we're going to throw chatterbaits, and we're going to throw white chatterbaits with white, just a boot tail trailer on the back of it, 3/8 ounce. To get a little bit deeper grass down south, we can go to a half. And then the second thing we can throw is a white chartreuse if the water's a little bit dingier. Have thrown a little bit of black and blue. Had a few bites on that. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to throw swim jigs with a twin tail grub trailer on the back of it in either white or black and blue. And we're going to have to play with it a little bit because it's so weird. One day they'll be straight on the white, and the next day they'll be on the black and blue. Probably been on the black and blue a little bit more. The water is finally starting to clear up a little bit in some of these creeks and pockets. I mean, even down south, it's been a little bit dingy, you know, with all the rain we had a few weeks ago. The SRA's been pulling on it pretty good, and so it's kept it a little bit dirty. And then our third thing we're going to do is we're going to throw stick baits, you know, a chopstick, Cinco style bait. Now, I've been getting as many bites weightless, like Texas rig weightless, as I have with a light Texas rig. Peg a light Texas rig with an 1/8 or 3/16 ounce weight. Even been fishing it wacky a little bit. And those three baits right there, between the chatterbait, the swim jig, and the stick bait, has been by far the go-to. I did incorporate a little bit a couple of days ago, just a straight old school wacky worm, just a trick worm wacky style. And, you know, we had a few days that the sun was up, a little more bluebird, a little more slick, got to be a little more subtle. And we did that and actually caught some really nice fish on it.
Ryan, you know, the next full moon's not till April 11th, but we got a new moon, March 28th. Do you do anything? Do you notice a difference between the new moon or the full moon? Will there be some fish come in with the new moon or not?
Oh yeah, there will be. There's already quite a few that actually have spawned out. We've caught several spawned out. Caught some off a bed, and I don't do a lot of bed fishing just because I don't go up there. It's just the water's not clear enough where I spend most of my time in the mid-lake area. But I did see a few on beds 2 weeks ago. But yes, there will be definitely another way. Things are going to be a little bit stalled this year. The water temp's still cool. I mean, we're finally in the upper 50s, low 60s now. I saw bumping mid-high 60s a little bit. But see, we should be 5 degrees warmer right now, and we're not. So that spawn is going to be drug out a little bit this year. So yeah, you're going to have some spawners plenty of spawners going on into April. So the people that like to fish shallow should have plenty of time this year to beat the banks, if you know what I mean. But back to that moon question, on the back side of that full moon, it does toughen up a little bit. So what you've got right now, you've got a really good bite early. Like the first 30 minutes to hour, it's going to be strong. And then it's going to fade out a little bit, and it's going to pick back up around lunchtime. I think our major right now is like 3 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. So for the guys this weekend that are fishing the poche this weekend, I mean, they're going to smash them. I mean, they're absolutely going to see lots of big fish caught, lots of quality fish. The Despino showed out. They timed it just right, but I think the guys this weekend, just for the fact the fish are up there. I mean, they're up there. They're not going to leave. They're not going. These little cold mornings are not going to push them back out. It's going to make them slow down a little bit. So that's where we're going to throw the Cinco style bait, a little more, but they're still going to catch them.
Yeah.
No, this weekend is, and because I'm fishing it, so I've been kind of watching the weather and here, kind of watching it as the week comes up, and it's showing high of 80, winds light and variable for Saturday, Ryan. So
yeah.
I mean, guys are going to absolutely smash them on Saturday. In that, talked to Bert a little while ago. He's got 190 boats, and it's Tuesday. So he's going to be around that 250 mark.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Ryan, what are you seeing water temperature wise? What's the water temp in northern part of the lake, mid lake, and south?
It's all kind of, it's kind of interesting because you'll pull into one pocket and it'll say, let's say at 9 o'clock in the morning, it'll say, 58, 59. And you go to the next pocket and it says, 57 or 61. So what we're seeing it's relatively the same, surprisingly, from the one end to the other. High 50s is what we're seeing, like right now, into the low 60s in some areas. And it's staying some of these warm days. And they're keeping it in the low, it's keeping it in the low 60s. And that's what we needed. We needed to get to that 60-degree mark. We needed those nights. We needed to have some of those warm nights, and we finally started having them. Even though we've got a little cool snap coming, it's not going to affect it. They're up there. They're going to stay up there. But yeah, that's kind of where we are. There's some high 60s in some areas. But, Kevin, like you were saying, I mean, if you wanted to go fishing, just go. And just take off down the bank or wherever you are. This is the week to go fishing.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. It is.
Hey, and let me throw another little thing out there. Tell y'all, for your listeners that are maybe they are struggling to get bit, or they just need to catch that fifth fish. or they want to catch that limit to give them a little confidence. Some people fish better with a limit, or they're just got kids and they just want to catch fish. One thing that I incorporated a little bit the last few days, it really worked, and you may laugh at this, but it's a 1/4 ounce spinnerbait. So tying on a white or a chartreuse, so real small 1/4 ounce spinnerbait, it's been working a little bit better in your clear water that you can see at least a foot down, and just throwing it up there around the cypress trees in front of the bushes. If there's some grass or some of that weeds, and just slow rolling it back to the bank. We've caught them up to 4.5 pounds doing that, but just as far as catching fish, that is a thing that if it does get a little tough, you get it, slick conditions, if the wind does quit blowing and you just need to catch a fish, believe it or not, tried that the other day and just kept it going for a few days, and it's worked great just to put a few fish in the box if you're going through kind of a dull time. So keep that in mind too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan, how's that mid-water bite? This weekend there's going to be 500 boats going down the bank for guys that want to maybe get away or kind of back off a little bit. How's that make? I know you've been fishing it a little bit. How's that mid-water, that 10 to 15, maybe 20-foot bite going, and have you had any success with it?
The 20, no, but there is a lot of fish still in that 5 to 10 foot zone. There's a lot of fish down south. Now, I hate to even say this, but I'm going to spill the beans. There's a lot of fish down south. I say south, Indian Mound South, that's sitting right in front of the grass. Where that grass line stops or tapers out in that 5 to 10 foot, sometimes it's even a little bit deeper. There's a lot of fish just sitting there. And believe it or not, some of them are kind of suspended. So if you're a scoper and you want to do that, you'll have fun with a jerk bait. Or even a little minnow or something like that, but you can still catch them, throwing crankbaits or things like that, moving up the lake in those staging places, still in those ditches, in that 5, 6, 7, 10, even 12 foot's been about as deep as we've been going. You can put on a big square bill, or something like a DT10 that's a little more subtle. It'll get you down there to that 8 to 12 foot range. Oh, yeah. Right. There's still a lot of fish right there that hasn't, pushed up yet. And believe it or not, the other day we found one afternoon that was a group of, believe it or not, here you are in the middle of March, post spawners. There was 3 or 4 that had already pulled out. I don't know how long ago they had spawned, but we caught them on crankbaits in about 8, 9, 10 foot of water. But there is still some fish there if people, want to back out, throw a Carolina rig or a crankbait, excuse me, and they don't want to get up in the crowd in that 1 to 4 foot of water.
One thing I want to bring to the attention, I call them grease fishermen, those guys that going out there putting fish in the ice chests and taking them home to eat. And that's great. We need those guys because we need to take some fish out of the reservoir.
To a degree, Steve, to a degree.
To a degree. And here's where I'm going. If you're a bed fisherman and you catch one 4 pounds and or above, put that fish back.
3 pounds and above.
Well, yeah, we'll say 3. But don't keep those bigger fish. That's our brood stock.
I
Let
agree.
them fish go back into the lake. And
they're doing it every day.
Yeah, well, I know they are,
Yeah, I watched a guy throw a 6.5 pounder right in front of me in the cooler just a couple of days ago, and never thought, when I say in the cooler, in the cooler. Because they were so close you could hear it popping in the cooler.
Water, no
never
ice.
slowed down.
Ryan, last question I got for you, man. Let's say Poche's weekend, perfect scenario. Weather's looking great. What's it going to take to win? Does it take mid-30s? Does it take 30?
No, I don't think you're going to be that high. But I think you're definitely going to be 27 to 32, somewhere in there. I think you're going to see a couple of 10s caught. But I think that range, that 22 to 25 pound range, you're going to see like lots of 22 to 25. I think you'll see a lot of those.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. This is setting up like it did to me 2 years ago. And the reason I remember so because I think we were fourth. We had fourth with 24 pounds. 28 won it. And it was like 28, 27, 25, 24 was us. And then like from 24 to 20, there was like 10 bags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see that again. It wouldn't surprise me if you see like 20 bags in that range. I think just this solid 3 to 4, maybe 5 pound fish. I think you're going to see a lot of those. And you're going to have, several people that are going to catch one 7 to 9 pounder, 7 to 8 pounder, and just have a couple of chunks to go with it. It's going to put them up there close to that 20 pound mark. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, I hope somebody catches 40. I just think on the backside of this moon, and everything, I think it might be a little bit. I hope I'm wrong, but it might be a tad tougher. But yeah,
too.
Sir.
There's going to be a lot of boats on the water, too. That's going to make it.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. It's been very crowded the last week or so, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing for the area. Yeah. It's a good thing for Keith, Toledo Bend Tackle, and other shops. But, yeah, it's getting hit pretty hard in the last week or so, and I see that, or don't see that slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, another thing from mine and Kevin and Ryan's perspective as well, if you are headed to the lake, be careful and be respectful of other people that are on the water. Be respectful of the area they're fishing. Don't just go running in on somebody and start chunking and whining right there, throwing at their boat. I mean, it's a lot going on like that, Ryan. You're on the water every day. I know you see it.
I do. Yeah. Unfortunately, you just kind of get immune to it and just turn and go the other way sometimes. I mean, because some people it sinks in, and some people, bless their heart, they're new. They may not come to the lake but once a year, and this is the week they go, and they just don't get it.
Yeah.
But let's be courteous to one another and give each other a little bit of breathing room. There's plenty. I'm telling you, there is plenty of fish out there. And one last thing I'll tell you, if you're not getting bit, just keep moving. Because you may run through, and Kevin, you know how it is, like throwing a rattle trap. I mean, you may go a half mile and never have a bite, and then you pull in a stretch or a pocket, and it just lights out. And it's kind of the same way. There is a little bit of dead water out there, but I'm telling you, if you will just keep moving until you catch 2 or 3, make a pass through there, give it 30 minutes, give it an hour, make another pass right through there, I promise you'll catch 2 or 3 more. We saw the other day where we could sit there in one stretch, and it literally, when you hear like waves of fish moving in, there was waves of fish moving in. You could hit it, give it an hour, and it was like you never fished it again, and just cycle through it 4 or 5 times a day. Can
you still catch them on the red trap right now, Ryan?
You can. It's getting a little bit late. Once that water temp gets consistently above about 55, I start putting it down. But 100%, right. You can. This is the very tail end of it. I think if you were going to do that, I would throw, a red or a gold, and you could still, catch some fish on it. But it's kind of winding down. They're starting to gravitate more to that chatterbait, spinnerbait bite right now.
Yeah. Okay. Good deal.
Ryan, if somebody needs or wants to get a hold of you for a guide trip, how can they do that?
Yeah, you can call or message me on my cell, which is 936-591-1183, or you can message me on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok at R Pink Fishing on TikTok. Either way, come find me one place or the other, and I'll definitely get back with you.
Ryan, man, we appreciate you, dude. Thank you for all the information. Thanks for taking time to come on with us, and always enjoy having you on, dude.
Thanks, guys. Yes, sir. Y'all have a good day.
All right.
Thanks, Ryan.
He did a good job, man. He gave us a good breakdown, top to bottom, front to north to south. We got a good feel for the lake and what's going on now. So hopefully, I know you already have your own game plan in your head, but man, he gave some really good advice there to people.
Yeah, no, he does. And that's why I wanted to have Ryan on. He's going to really do a good job of breaking it down. He covers a good bit of the lake. From up north to south, more so than a lot of the guides, I think. So, again, he does a really good job breaking that down, kind of the full lake, giving you a good layout. There's a lot of people, Steve, that are fixing to go on spring break, fixing to head to Toledo Bend. There's a lot of guys that are going to fish the Poche this weekend that probably is the only tournament this year that they fish. And, man, some great info right there from Ryan to get started on the water.
All right. We're going to take another quick break. We got tournament results. We'll go over the Toby. We've got Louisiana Team Trail results. I got a Fishers of Men from Lake of the Pines. Got a results for that. I've got a short tip of the week, and we're going to cover all that and more as we take one more break to recognize our awesome sponsors. Again, you're watching Tackle Talk Live. We'll be right back.
Lakes Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency taking care of Texans' insurance needs for over 25 years, offering auto, homeowners, boat, RV, life, health, and commercial insurance. Owner Clark Moore is a local fishing guide and tournament angler who understands your insurance needs and wants to be your go-to guide for all your insurance needs. For a free quote, give him a call and see why so many Texans trust the Lake Insurance Agency. 2 locations to serve you in both Nacogdoches and Broadus, Texas. Or give him a call at 936-205-4467. The next time you're headed for Toledo Bend or Sam Rayburn, stop by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle. They have an awesome supply of everything you'll need to catch the big ones. Whether your trip calls for bass fishing, white perch tackle, catfish bait, or the ultimate fighting shiners, Keith's Tackle has you covered. Keith and former Elite Series pro Ben Matsubu also have the latest information on what, how, and where you need to be fishing on Sam Rayburn or the Bend. So for all your tackle needs, check out Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, located just off Highway 21 on the Texas side of Toledo Bend, or call 409-625-0181. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Welcome back. You're watching Tackle Talk Live. Again, we appreciate y'all tuning us in today. This segment presented by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, the Lakes Insurance of Nacogdoches, Toledo Health Clinic, Cypress Knee Outdoors, Toledo Bend Bass Series, Shimano, and Power Implements Marine, located in Iowa, Louisiana. Kevin, if you walk in and say, hey, man, I watch Tackle Talk Live, what's going to happen?
You'll get $500 off if you're looking to purchase a new or a used boat, or you'll get $50 off your service ticket. So make sure, go by Power Implements Marine, tell them the guys Tackle Talk Live sent you, and instantly save some money, some big money as well.
Okay, let's see here, Kevin.
We need to go over our new sponsor, Toledo Bend Bass, the Toledo Bend Bass Series. They've got the next tournament coming up April, right there it is, April 5th. Now, last weekend's tournament north of the bridge was canceled, which good call, very, very high winds. It was some rough weather last weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to ask Matt when they rescheduled it. I was trying to ask him today, and it slipped my mind. They're going to reschedule that one. And then the next one south of the bridge is scheduled for April 5th. Again, it's a north-south Pendleton Bridge deal, guys. No live scope tournament. He's had some really, the 2 tournaments he's had so far, he's had 70 plus boats for $180 entry fee. So don't miss out on this team series. ToledoBendBassSeries.com. Check out the website. Check them out on the social media.
And Kevin, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you have to fish 5 to qualify for
Correct.
the championship. You got plenty of time. Even that one that's been postponed, that really helped some of the guys out, that if you're just now looking to jump in this circuit, you got plenty of time. You're still in great shape to qualify.
And you have to pay for 5 of 8. If you can't make one, you can just pay for it, and that'll still get you into the championship.
There you go. All right, good deal. All right. Texas Oil, Kevin, this used to be it used to be the biggest event on Toledo Bend. For a long time, this was the event that people wanted to fish, and of course, you have to be invited to fish this, and you have to be affiliated with the oil business, oil field somehow, some way. Well, Chris Clement and Lee Frederick brought home 10 fish for 2 days, 60.27 pounds. That's basically 30 pounds a day. I mean, God. It's just still amazing me, the weights that are coming in this year. It really is. Second place was Larry Verrett, Donald Romero. They had 55.41, and Richard Porter, Stephanie Porter, they came in third with 50.22. Joel Cooley, Caden Cooley, they were fourth with 45.45. Darvin Knapp, Stanley Head, they came in fifth with 44.23. Blaine Prejean and Drake Menard, they came in sixth with 41.28. Mike Gray, Brooks Hatsfield, they came in seventh with 41.23. Chris Murphy, Mike McNear. Chris Murphy, Mike McNear were 8th with 39.22. Rounding out the top 10, Brad Bergeron. Is that how you say that? That's a South Louisiana name, I think. Barradin. I'm sorry, Barradin. And Terry Gatlin. They came in 10th with 38.58 pounds of fish for 2 days. Congratulations, y'all. And again, Texas Oilman's continues to a tradition. That's a traditional tournament. It's been around for a long time, Kev.
Steve, I didn't realize that was a 2-day deal. 60 pounds for 2 days?
Yes. I mean, that's crazy. That is crazy. I mean, I assume it's 2 days. It's 10 fish limits.
I'm going to look it up because that's got me wondering now.
Because even all the way down to 38.
It says count 10 and 9.
Unless you can weigh 10, which I doubt it.
Well, I mean, if you weigh 10, that's 5 a day.
I'm saying, I don't think you could just weigh 10 in 1 day is my point. So I think it is a 2-day deal. But, and again, I could be wrong. I always assumed that was a 2-day deal. Maybe it's not.
Right here. Day 1, first, second, third. First, second, third. No, it's a 2-day. My Lord, they whacked them.
Yeah, they did. They really did. Okay. You want to do Louisiana team show? Do you have that pulled up?
Yeah, I do. I'm still in shock of those weights. My God. Louisiana team trail this past weekend was the championship. Shout out to our good friend Walt, your partner, my old work colleague Walt Stevens and Santos Mitchell. They had a 2-day weight of 60.80. This is Black Bayou, Lake Halston. And man, they just annihilated the competition. Second place was 47.81. But shout out to Walt and Santos for bringing home the championship. And man, they had 28.22 on day 1 and 32.58 on day 2.
Yeah. They I talked to Walt just on the phone yesterday, and he said just one. And for somebody, Walt's never even been on that body of water before. I mean, but it's just a tribute to Walt. Walt is one of those anglers, Kevin. He's really, really good. He does his homework, but he's the guy that can show up when he's backing his boat down the ramp. That's one of the guys you're going to have to beat. He does a great job. Very thorough, very meticulous, and he can flip a jig or he can throw a wake bait. You name it, he can do it. He's very versatile, and I think that's one of the reasons he's so successful. So. But I think they had a good turnout for this event as well. So, and that's relatively, in my opinion, I think it's relatively new. I think it's been around 2 or 3 years, but
maybe a little longer, probably 4 or 5. Because I remember when we still had V&M, they were just getting it off the ground and going. So,
do you think this is something that'll continue to grow and get bigger? Is it growing? I mean.
I mean, and Steve, in my opinion, that's something North Louisiana needs, and that's kind of the Northeast Monroe, Darbon over in that area. I think they need a good tournament trail, and I think they've done a decent job or good job with this trail, and they're continuing to grow, so they're going to continue with it, no doubt about it. So
yeah. Okay. Let's see. Well, I thought I had Fishers of Men. I don't have that pulled up right here.
I don't have those results.
Okay, I'll see if I can.
Northeast Texas results. I don't have those.
Yeah, I had it pulled up, but it's disappeared on me.
So real quick, upcoming this weekend alone, if you want to continue to look for it, Steve, you got the Dylan Poche tournament on Saturday. The ABA Texas Pro League on Rayburn, which you're fishing, is on Saturday as well. Real United is March 22nd on Saturday at Rayburn. Then March 23rd on Sunday is the Average Joe tournament by Outlaw Outdoors on Rayburn. This one has some rules in it. If you have won a certain amount of money for this year, for the year 2025, you may not be eligible. I haven't looked at it. I think some years past it's been like, if you've won $2,500 or so, you're not eligible. Go check out the rules. Outlaw Outdoors. FishOutlawOutdoors.com or Outlaw Outdoors social media page. Check out the Average Joe tournament this weekend. Great tournament, always a fun time. And you're not competing against those hammers that win every weekend because they're not eligible to fish. So go check that out. It's Sunday, March 23rd.
Okay, Fishers of Men, Texas, Northeast Texas Division, not East Texas, but Northeast Texas Division. It was on Lake of the Pines. Jimmy Burgess and Brian Porter. It was a one-day deal. They brought in 5 fish for 30.8 pounds. They had a 781 kicker. Brandon Johnson and Arthur Johnson came in second. They had 5 fish for 27.26. They had a 7.3 kicker. Aaron Fight and Ed Newman were third with 25.68. They had a 907 kicker. Let's see here. Hal Valderson and Ryan Hess, they were fourth with 22.94. They had a 797 kicker. So, Kevin, I mean, Lake of the Pines just continues to just roll out the big fish right now. 10th place to round out the top 10 was Dannon Thomas and Craig Lawless. They finished 10th. They had 5 fish for 20.66. To catch 18 pounds or better, you had to be in the top 17. And so, once again, Lake of the Pines, it's tapered off just a little bit from what it was 2 weeks ago, but it's not tapered off much.
Yeah. And Steve, anybody that is hearing us talk a lot about this Poche tournament, if you're not registered yet or you need to get registered, you can go to the website DylanKylePoche.com, or you can go to the Dylan Kyle Poche social media page, but DylanKylePoche.com, and you can get registered. You can see the online registration on there. I think they're doing online registrations until Friday, maybe. I have to check it. But anyway, that's the tournament we keep talking about this weekend. If anybody doesn't know or need to get registered, that's how you get registered online.
Yeah, and also you guys that are looking to fish, we've had several people I've noticed on Facebook that are looking to fish the ABA Texas Pro League. Again, this is the first tournament of the year for the ABA Texas Pro League. You have until 5 o'clock Wednesday evening to call in and get registered for this event. So make sure you call in ASAP if you're wanting to get in this event. I'm looking for a good turnout on this. Even with the Poche tournament, it's kind of a different crowd for the Poche.
Yeah, it is.
It's not really our crowd that will be hit that hard for the Texas Pro League, but looking forward to see how many show up at Rayburn, which is, like I said, absolutely on both Rayburn and Toledo Bend.
Yeah, everything's on fire right now.
Yeah, everything's on fire. So hopefully I'll do well over there next week. This weekend, looking forward to that. The next BFL is on Sam Rayburn, April the 5th. I know a lot of BFL guys are probably going to be maybe scouting the next couple of weeks, getting ready for that.
Well, and then next weekend, Steve, so you got the Poche this weekend. Next weekend is the TTT, the Texas Team Trail event on Toledo Bend as well. So you've got 3 or 4 weeks in a row of some big tournaments right here. You got this weekend Poche, you got Texas Team Trail next weekend, April 5th and 6th. You got the BFL, but you also have the Toledo Bend Bass Series south of the Ridge tournament. So I'm looking for a huge turnout for him for that one. I bet he's got to hit 100 boats in that one, I would imagine. So
yes, I would agree. And the Elite Outdoors, a new circuit over there at Lake of the Pines called King of the Pines. They have a team trail and an individual trail. The individual trail is no forward-facing sonar, so keep that in mind if you're looking to fish something. A lot of guys are trying to avoid the forward-facing sonar tournaments. If you're looking for something to fish, this is one you can jump in and not have to worry about it. Or let's see, what else is going on that you don't have to? Well, I guess that's it for right now, isn't it? Because the Despino tire is over. So, and I think Poche, you can still use it in his tournament, can't you?
So, yeah,
I think that's right. All right, lake levels. Kevin, what are you showing Toledo at right now?
Toledo is at 171.74, a difference of minus 1.26 feet. 10-day loss of 7.68 inches and a 24-hour loss of 1.92 inches. So they are trying to bring it back down, Steve. We've had a lot of rain lately, a lot of water coming down. They're trying to draw it back down. So you've had a 24-hour loss of 1.92 inches. That's a lot.
And it's already 1.26 feet below pool right now. So
171 is pretty high. 171 is up there.
Sam Rayburn's kind of doing the same thing. It's 165.12. It's 8.64 inches above pool. It's at a 10-day loss of 1.38 feet. They are pulling on it. It's had a 24-hour loss of 1.68 inches as well. Lake of the Pines is 229.32. It's down 8.16 inches. It's a 10-day loss of 0.6, 24-hour loss of 1.2 inches. So, and then Caddo, Kevin, what are you showing for Caddo?
169.85, a difference of plus 1.35 feet. So it's up 1.35. 10-day loss of 1.8 inches and a 24-hour loss of 0.48 inches.
Right. All right, real quick, I've got one little tip of the week before we go. Fishing line. Guys, on your fishing line, make sure that you store it properly. You know, a lot of guys, one of the things I look for when I buy a fishing line, especially at a tackle store, you want to buy a fresh line. If you go to a big box store where a lot of line may sit on the shelf for a long time, ultraviolet light, like it's in my shop right here, that is really hard on fishing line over time. It can weaken it. I like to store mine in a dark room. Some guys like to put it in a refrigerator and keep it in there and keep it good and cool in a dark place. But that's the key. Keep it in a dark place. Keep it out of the direct sunlight and especially UV light. Try to avoid that as much as you can. And your line will last longer. It'll hold up for you. And hopefully you won't be breaking them off on the hook set just because you got bad line. So, all right, Kevin, what else? You got anything else?
I think that does it for me for the week, Steve.
All right. Well, hey, we appreciate y'all tuning us in. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or wherever you see us, wherever you listen to a podcast. If you'd like to become a member of our sponsorship team, all you got to do is message us on Facebook. Kevin will get a packet out to you as soon as possible. For Kevin Jean, yours truly, Steve Graff. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week with more Tackle Talk Live.